Episode 1 Nights Around the Roll20 Table.
How's it going?
Okay, how are you?
Doing all right.
Just sounded like you were coughing up a lung there.
I wasn't coughing. That was just a big old gag.
Ah.
I'm eating Chipotle, so that'll do it. So how's it going? It's going.
Yay, Asiran's here.
Yeah. I've been playing you for the past couple of sessions. Oh yeah, how's that been? You've been doing a lot more, if I'm honest. Wow. Were you here when I got my feet cut off? No, I got my feet cut off. I got my feet cut off, so you put me in the bag of holding and put me on your back and carried me. Don't forget, you have a limp. You currently walk with a limp because you haven't fully repaired yourself yet. Yeah, and now I walk with a limp. Man. Yeah, I was going like, man.
Let's see.
He's got a thing about cutting off people's appendages.
Yeah, but Al also killed a vampire lord.
There you go. I barely helped. You brought the sun.
Well, and I should say, it was a newly born vampire lord.
Yeah. I came in, I'm like, why is there, I'm like, what, where? And I had the sun on, and apparently he did not like that.
Yeah, he was not fully vested in his powers yet.
To be fair, I killed 2 vampire lords. Yeah, I missed the other one.
The other one wasn't even really a vampire lord yet.
I mean, he was a lord and he was a
vampire. Yeah, that's sort of a different classification of lord, though. I
killed my first player the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Stab him in the chest and watch his eyes fade as he bled out in your hands. Oh, you meant his character. Yep. I might as well have killed him because he was not ready for that. This is what happens when you piss off Strahd and you're not ready to fight a fully empowered Strahd.
Well, Malcius almost died last session, so.
Did he? How close was he?
Well, he was making death saving throws.
I mean, that doesn't mean he was close to dying. No, my character didn't even, the player didn't even, his character didn't even get the chance to make a death saving throw, because what happens when a vampire drops you to 0 with a bite? I would let him play as a vampire. I have an interesting ethereal realm, and since we're playing Ravenloft, so I have an interesting ethereal realm thing that he's gonna have a few choices to make while the party tries to resurrect them. You can either be a vampire, stay dead, and make a new character, or be resurrected, but you're naked. It's a little bit more than that. It's close to that. He's also a warlock, so he has that. He's a hexblade, so his weapons with him. So what fucking nerd plays hexblade warlock? I think all of us. It's like I think all of us. I was like, everyone's like, I would. They're so cool. I found the picture that I got commissioned for one of my first characters that was a hexblade warlock. Now, the one on the stream or a different one?
Different one. The one on the stream, which, by the way...
The Celestial. That's right.
Yeah, he was a Celestial. We're starting season 2, not this week, but next week. If anyone wants to start watching that, because we're going to be putting it up on YouTube, too.
So what constitutes a season?
New campaign.
Oh, okay.
Has you guys finished?
We didn't finish because the players, the DM, and the audience all agreed that nobody knew what the fuck was going on anymore.
I gotta be honest. I watched you guys a few times, and each episode I'm like, okay, I would miss the first 5 minutes, and I'll be like, wait, what happened?
And then you're totally confused and lost.
Yeah, I was like, what just happened? It's like I missed 5 minutes.
So what we're doing instead is we're doing kind of an epilogue where any subscribers can view the epilogue on the Discord, subscriber-only Discord. Mm-hmm.
Make
and
that
then
plug.
We're going to...
Make that plug.
Yeah. Oh, are we doing the podcast now?
Yes, I am recording.
Oh, crap, we're doing the podcast right now.
Totally forgot. So basically, we're just starting a whole new season for Dice Ministry, where you can watch it on YouTube at the Dice Ministry YouTube channel, or watch it at Twitch at diceministry.com or .tv /Dice Ministry. I'm going to be playing a dwarf brute fighter, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh.
I just totally switched into my fucking streamer mood.
And just so everybody knows, this is Rylan. He plays a Warforged named Al in this campaign.
Warforged Cleric of the Forge.
Say it 10 times fast.
Warforged Cleric of the Forge, 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 Warforged Cleric of the Fuck!
It started like some W's popping in.
Well,
I figured you could do it.
Yeah, it was definitely better than I would have done.
I like up to 7.
And for
you got a lot closer.
The whole 3 listeners, which are probably participants in the campaign, hi, my name's Tony. I am the DM, GM, whatever, content creator.
Game master.
Death. He's death.
And so far we have, back from vacation.
Exile.
Yeah, vacation and a bunch of unforeseen events after that.
He plays a sea elf. Druid?
Hans, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Sea elf, druid, monk, combination.
Multi-classer.
Yep.
The fucking nerd.
And then we have Swiftfang, a.k.a. Eric. Swiftfang is kind of we're doing a trial of Swiftfang.
Yeah.
Playing what we are currently calling a hunter, but we might need to change that designation.
It's a pretty big experiment right now.
It's a broken. That's what you should call it.
It's a broken.
Doesn't seem broken so far.
That's just because he's playing it wrong.
Or I'm playing conservative.
He's playing it wrong.
We'll find out in a few levels. I think if it's gonna be if the broken aspect comes out, it's gonna be around level 8 is when that suddenly appears.
Yeah. And just so people understand, this is a class that I was trying to develop. It was based on a first edition Dragon Magazine based hunter class where they blended the ranger and assassin classes. Here I've done it where it's more ranger, thief, druid blend, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. They're up to level 4 so far, so
Yeah, nothing. None of the main skills have quite appeared yet.
yeah.
Take a ranger, then grab some leaves off of a tree, put them in a blender, and garnish it with an edgy backstory. You have Hunter.
But yeah, I have no idea where you're broadcasting this podcast. I gotta be honest. So if there's 3 people listening, it's not me.
No, there's. I'm not streaming it. I'm just recording it, so it'll be up on YouTube later.
Recorded for her pleasure.
I think that would be for David's pleasure.
Yeah. Of course, he'll probably maybe appear once a year, because he's got a little
around until 8:30. We record this at 7.
Actually, 7:45. Yeah, he's usually in the process of putting his kids to bed, or if he's in Vax form, eating them.
Putting them down.
I feel like this is a outlet for him for some odd reason.
You fucking kids, get to fucking bed right now!
20 minutes later.
Alright,
in game.
Now I'm a wizard, folk. Where are the orphans? Let me eat the orphans, please. Please, God, just...
So
Tony,
anybody who's
Tony,
not
please.
part of the game, you should understand these are the kinds of the conversations that we are always having before the game. And I just thought, maybe people would kind of enjoy potentially listening to a little bit of it.
So, I want
a great idea.
idea. Yeah, I do, guys, want to run something by you. So, like I said, that I had my this one player's character die, and the idea right now, he's like that in between stage. He's like, I guess, purgatory for Ravenloft.
So he's walking down a tunnel. There's a light at the end, but he hasn't made it to the light yet.
No, it's
just close. I think I've seen this video.
Yeah, more ethereal, because he can see everything that's going around in where everyone else is. So like I said earlier, he has multiple choices. One, he can become a vampire.
That's the choice I'd probably take.
2, he can die in new character. 3, he can kind of they manage to resurrect him. He can kind of stay the same. If 4, he can use the Matt Mercer class. The what was it called, Ryland? The ghost one.
The ghost one.
It's not Bloodhunter, is it?
No, it's not Bloodhunter. It's a completely different class. It's like if you die.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's cool though.
I'll post it for you, Ryland. I'll post it for you on wherever we're Skyping.
I looked up Matt Mercer. First result, stat roll rules. Second result, Matt Mercer beard.
He's had that for about
a week.
Yeah. Let me find that class for you, man. It's pretty cool. Basically, it's called Lingering Soul. There we go. And
Lingering Soul class.
Yeah, I'll just get it. Or do you want to just download it from?
I just want to. I'll download it myself.
All right.
Let me read the outline.
And Malcius is going to be 20 minutes late, so our introductory session will be potentially a little bit longer.
Yep. Here's. Oh my God. The fucking classes that Mercer comes up with. Bloodhunter class, which everyone knows as a critical role. The Gunslinger class, which everyone knows does critical role. Order of the Lycan, and Totem of the Duck.
Oh, you forgot about the College of Maestro. Remember his Bard class he made, the Bard College he made. College of the Maestro. I got that one too, man. College of Maestro.
Anyway, Lingering Soul for post-death options. Mortality, all who draw breath, fear the icy grip of death, promised end. It is the primal fear that drives much of history, and the promise of a restful afterlife brings a weight to the influence of any temple. Your afterlife, unfortunately, is not so restful. You've been cut down and left to die, and your spirit now remains, unable to pass on when so filled with fear, with anger, with questions, binding to whatever symbol, will anchor you to the world of the living. You feel the hunger for answers, rival your need for vengeance, as you learn to control the ethereal existence thrust upon you. This looks interesting.
But you see how that could be one of like the options. Like he doesn't quite get resurrected. He doesn't want to die, so that happens.
I would say, it's always tricky handling death for me when it comes to Warlock, because you have promised your soul to a patron, right?
Yeah, and he's a hexblade, so his patron is literally right there on him.
I would think doing something like this is like asking out your girlfriend's sister, your ex-girlfriend's sister, when she's standing right next to him. I would say offer it to him. See what he thinks.
Yeah, see, I would attach his soul to that weapon. That's how that would work.
I would want to read a little bit more about this, though.
I mean, yeah, go ahead. You guys, all of you are a little bit more experienced than me when it comes to DMing. This is my first true, like, more than a one-shot campaign, basically. So, like I said, and this was my first character death, so I've never, I was like, huh.
I would say...
Yeah. I think you're being maybe a little too kind, but, you know.
That's what I was saying. Like,
because
what level are they?
5.
5?
Yeah. They're just starting out, basically, in Ravenloft.
Okay.
It was just words were said, insults were traded, and Strahd has a...
He insulted Strahd?
No, he particularly... Strahd has a particular interest with him. So...
What's that interest?
Can you go la 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 for a little second? Or do you care? That, my wife's next to me, and she plays in the game. Yeah, basically, one of the aspects of Strahd, for a lot of people know, he's looking for an heir.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. And his character meets all the criteria.
He wants to fuck him.
Not that type of heir.
He's talking about he
slave.
wants to put his babies inside him.
He wants a slave, so Strahd can go take a nap for 500 or 1,000 years. And...
Did I walk into? They said it needed to be PG-13 or rated R, just because I'm going to be joining, but it's that way already.
Listen, we're talking about Strahd here.
Yeah, and we're talking about, like, I had my first character death. So I'm trying to figure it out, and I already had planned this for the first character death to kind of have this, like this walkabout.
So you plan for a character death?
Oh yeah, no, it's Ravenloft, man.
Absolutely should. Any DM worth their salt prepares for a character death.
Yeah.
No, I mean he planned for it to happen.
No, I didn't plan for him. I didn't plan for anyone to die in this scenario. I just didn't think people were gonna openly insult and mock Strahd while he had some allies there.
Really, tell him how that went when Cool Story Bro was mocking a vampire.
Which one was this?
Last Saturday.
Which time was he mocking a vampire?
This is true. He did it twice.
What are you telling me?
He was just being. He's like, I'm asking serious questions. No, you're being you're giving the vampire sass. The vampire orders Dabu to smack him upside the head. It's like, I don't have any problem with this. Walks up and smacks him upside the head.
I don't think they needed. Okay. So, David is my DM in a different campaign.
And he plays Vax in this campaign.
Yeah.
FYI, we are recording.
Recta darn near killed
we have a little, I wouldn't say problem, child in one of our campaigns, but
he got better a little bit.
He has gotten better, but this is very much like an ex-power gamer type person.
Like, are we talking the bad power gamer or the ones that just kind of balls over stats and try to make their character
bad power gamer? Where it's, I think in the campaign that we have a problem with him in, he's a spell singer.
Yeah.
But not an elf.
And it's not just that he's a bad power gamer. He also likes to hear his own voice. So he's always going off on tangents. Well, he was. He's gotten a lot better about it. He always went off on tangents while we were trying to play the game. He's like, back where I remember doing this when I was in this campaign and blah, blah, blah. And just, he would go off on these 10, 15, sometimes 20-minute just talks. We're like, so we came up with a phrase for him. It's like, cool story, bro. And then I shunted him off to the side channel just to get him out of the Discord.
we had to make an entirely new Discord chat just so that if he started telling his story, we can move him into a different chat.
Has he realized this?
Yes. After the first time it happened.
Not the first time.
Oh, it was the second time?
Yeah, it was the second time. It was, okay, so we should all sneak into this town then, just so they don't see us and we can infiltrate the enemy. This reminds me of a time where I was...
That's exactly what happened. That was like the third or fourth story he went into it.
I'm sorry, guys. I got clicked into the wrong chat. So this reminds me of the story of when we were going through this town, and you remember Strahd. Like, there was this time where
Yeah. It was I just kept throwing him in that other channel.
It took a couple of tries, but I think he's starting to improve.
But go ahead, continue with your story. I had to do that because it was relevant to how he was.
Yeah, I forget where I was even going.
He decided to taunt a vampire, and that wasn't the greatest idea.
Yeah, we are dealing with this campaign that David's put us in, where we basically died to we got our souls taken away from us. We didn't die. And now that we're under the thrall of a vampire queen, I want to guess, and her lackeys, and she has us going out on missions. This guy, the Power Gamer, plays a monk that is the town drunk and likes to mouth off to authority, which my character has a problem with because he is the island's noble and therefore the authority.
You must respect my authority.
That's kind of what happened.
Exactly. So this guy starts asking these dumbass questions like, we need you to bring this person back alive. How alive? Alive.
What's his intelligence modifier?
Every intelligence is 8 except for one character, or except for 2 characters, I guess.
Yeah. You're the wizard of the group, and you have the intelligence. Everyone else's intelligence of 8. Even Scritch is 8.
Oh man.
I am also the only character with an evil alignment, and none of them realize it.
Oh no. That's so good. That's so good.
The other thing about this guy is he thinks he's like, oh, I'm cool. I got all these cool things, and then he makes all these characters like it's like his blazing. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to be like the wizard tank. I'm all this cool. except for he dies 2 to 3 times each session and has to be brought back. He's like, oh yeah, when I have like a 26 AC when I can cast shield, use my reaction, all that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
make a Constitution saving throw.
Or the fact that our DM is constantly, rolling high numbers and crits.
I think it's been like 6 sessions since he's rolled under an 11.
Yeah. Oh. And,
wow.
And he's not cheating. We can see the die rolls. He's just absurdly getting really good rolls for some stupid reason. And it's in Roll20, so it's just like it's random dice.
Yeah, it's
more random than random dice.
Like what's worse than a power gamer?
No.
Power gamer that tests fate.
So, but the thing is, this carries over to both campaigns.
Oh Lord.
So in the one that I'm DMing, he's a monk, and he's like, oh yeah, it's like he keeps getting high initiative rolls, so he keeps going first. First thing he does is runs straight at the enemy and starts fighting, and then he dies and has to be rescued repeatedly. And
what was it yesterday or last time? It was
owlbears. Yeah,
2 owlbears. Okay, I'm gonna spend 40 feet of movement and run up to the owlbears.
And it's
they spend 30 of their movement to walk up to you.
Both of them.
I didn't know they could move that fast.
Well, faster. And then Ryan, I don't know if you told it, but Ardell was telling me that he messaged him privately saying, "Come on, man, you're supposed to be up there with me tanking, so that way I can synergize after you." And Ardell responded back to him saying, "Dude, you go first, run in. I can't get to you in time, and you die."
He didn't tell me that.
You do realize that monks are literally the one class that moves faster than any other class by a long shot, and you're darting up there ahead of me.
And then there was the time he decided to split the party just because.
Oh yeah, fucking. Cool. Oh my god.
To split the party as in him by himself, or
yes. This is what we did. Okay, so we've been fighting these goblins in a cave for like a day and a half.
You fought the wolves first.
We fought a bunch of wolves, got the shit kicked out of us because we all had to run in after this guy ran past a choke point.
Leroy
Jenkins! Like V in the cave where I could literally look at it and say, oh, this was David actually went in and made this cave to make this choke point. Okay, guys, let's all stay back and fight from afar. What? What are you doing over the way in the cave? Guys,
so
there's a bunch of wolves in here.
And wolves have pack tactics. So he goes down.
He goes down, and then we spend 3 combat turns trying to rescue him.
So you guys finally defeat the wolves, but you've wasted almost all of your class abilities.
Yeah, so
and
what's...
you guys start sneaking ahead. You get ambushed by the goblins. And then you guys run, which was fine. And then he's like, everyone's running back to town to heal up for the night. And he's like, I'm going to stay out here and hide in a tree and keep an eye on the goblin cave to make sure they don't go anywhere. And it's like, okay. And then, so what do? You start to get night, you're getting kind of tired. Oh, I'm going to go hide in this tree and go to sleep. And he rolled a pretty good stealth roll. But the thing is he falls asleep. You can't actively be stealthing and sleeping. So I gave him a passive minus.
There's a goblin probably hold my breath.
Yeah, so all I did was I gave him a -5 passive penalty. So it's like just that passive disadvantage. And then the lead goblin just rolled decently and found him. And they captured him and tied him up. And that whole party, he spent that whole next session tied up in the back of the cave. That was his punishment. He spent that whole next session tied up in the back of the cave as the party goes to rescue him.
And then he didn't learn anything.
No.
So what started this conversation, David, is Eric has killed off he says a character, but he's also said a player a few times. So anyway,
player character.
Yeah,
they're the same thing.
He's not sure exactly how to handle it. I'm like, well, if the character's dead, he's dead.
Did you do it on purpose? That's my only question.
Says the guy that dropped a wish ring in a dragon lair for me. I think you're being a little bit nice.
Did you do it on purpose?
No.
Okay, then it just happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I had like I told everyone else, I had planned for a death, and this was gotta be a narrative aspect to this, and I had multiple options. I was trying to mull over and see if I'm giving too many options or should cut back. One is stay dead, obviously. Roll a new character, stay dead. The other is he turns into a vampire because when he died from the fight.
Okay, well, I don't think that's how that mechanic works in 5e, is it?
Yeah, no, it works like that. If you go to stroke from a vampire bite.
But you're gonna come.
Yeah.
If he does that, you're gonna have him come back as an NPC, correct?
Yeah. Well, it's gotta be one of those. Yes.
Okay, so I would not. If you're gonna bring him back as a vampire, he's not. Don't make it a player character vampire.
Yeah.
No, that'll just break your campaign.
Yeah, just have him roll a new character in that instance as well.
Yeah. Another aspect is they're gotta get resurrected because they know how to resurrect. And
Well,
how are they
5.
They're level 5, and they already got access to resurrection.
They met certain people.
Okay, so I guess that matters on how high magic your campaign is.
Not very.
Is there a Walgreens magic item store on every block?
Yeah, if you're doing low magic, I would. If it's going to be a
Average
resurrection, average magic. If you're doing that, any kind of resurrection at that level should be like a major campaign quest.
Or
in which case, well, that's if they had Revivify.
That's true.
And it has to be casted right after death. So
no one had Revivify.
At that level, a resurrect spell is kind of a campaign in and of itself to like a full adventure thing.
Well, it's basically there's got to be certain aspects of it, and like anything, as you said, the resurrection is there's a quid pro quo with this.
Okay,
I do this for you, you got to do something for me. And remember, we're in Ravenloft. They're in like a demi-plane separated from the rest of the world, and everything's pretty much evil.
So I guess the next question to ask is, how long would it take to accomplish this resurrection?
They're ironically they're right by it. Like the person that they're going to seek, they're literally like a 3-hour journey.
Are we talking like a session?
Yeah, it would definitely be a session.
Like at the start of the session?
Yeah, like they're picking up right then and there.
Okay.
You watch his body hit the floor and he's not moving.
No.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
No, that's basically what I did. It's like he's dead. They tried healing. I'm like, nope, he's dead. He's gone.
How did he die?
The vampire bite.
Eaten by a vampire. Sucked dry like a baby sun.
How much of an impact do you want it to be? If they could just bring him back, it doesn't make a whole lot of much impact in the game.
There is how familiar are you with Ravenloft?
Pretty good, recently. At least not the 5th ed so much, but a lot of the earlier stuff.
Okay, this is the 5e one, so I'm not too sure how much.
Backstory is mostly the same.
Yeah, it's the Abbot in the previous edition.
So you're gonna turn it into a campaign.
Like what they were going to see this person anyway, and they're gonna go see the Abbot. If anyone's familiar with the Abbot, that's
okay. So I guess then you have 2 options ahead of you. Then you could either have them bring him back, and put the whole campaign hook, whatever it's campaign hook. You give him a quest out of it, or you could have him be dead just to show that this is Ravenloft. It's gonna be tough. You need to be more cautious.
Mm-hmm. I would honestly, I hate killing off characters. And I've made the mistake of like, oh, yeah, the guy just happened to be passing by. Oh, you're alive again.
Oh, no, this is not it. This is not.
This would be, I would say, a hard lesson to learn. And, like, you have learned the ultimate lesson. People die here. You can die here. You need to keep that in mind.
Look at it this way. Ravenloft can be compared to Dark Sun in the way it was intended. Did you play Dark Sun?
I have never played Dark Sun.
Have you ever played 2nd edition Dark Sun?
I have never played
Edition Dark Sun. It says in the very beginning of the book, when you start this campaign, have each player make 3 characters because the first 2 are going to die. It literally says that at the beginning of the book.
That's fucked up.
I've never played
And
either of those.
The very first session I played of Dark Sun, all our characters died. And this was a pre-made campaign. Everyone died. Just literally, everyone died. And Ravenloft is supposed to be on par with difficulty as Dark Sun.
The fact that nobody died first session should say something about.
And the other funny thing about that first session I played at Dark Sun is one of the players went through all 3 characters in that first session.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Because the thing about Dark Sun is it's very brutal for low-level characters. You have to play smart and be lucky to get anywhere. But once you start getting some levels and some abilities, you start becoming pretty strong. But it's that very intro part. It's just it tries to teach you to be careful, be cautious, and think before doing anything. And Ravenloft's very similar to how it's supposed to be played out, like Dark Sun.
Yeah, no, and I hear what you say, Riley, with both of you on like this high death rate and the don't have the wandering stranger, come by to.
Yeah.
No, but there's like I said, the abbot is literally an entire thing. He's a major character in Ravenloft. Like to even get to him, you have to fulfill these pre-requirements.
Yeah, I know, but it's like if I can do a cool story, bro, for a second.
Story, bro.
In a different campaign, I had my warlock, who I believe was the only character in the game that didn't die in the first 3 sessions. And they ended up dying because of the DM was a shithead.
Yeah.
And literally said, when I tried to run away from the party because we were being murdered by forest elves, and I used a teleportation spell, I was quote-unquote magically teleported in a random direction. That random direction just happened to be into ancient green dragon's lair. I survived 1 round, and then died. Start of the next session. Yeah, you guys finished up the last of the widows, and then you hear whistling, and there's this guy walks up, and he's like, "Oh, I sense some death in these parts," and he reaches into a tree and pulls out my character, and casts resurrection. Okay, see you later.
Hell, dude, no, that ain't happening.
The more I think about it, if he died to a vampire fight, I would definitely, if you want to let him continue to play this character, let him, let the abbot, do what you're gonna do. But what would be really cool is if he was secretly the vampire spawn and didn't know it, and then at some point later on, take his character away and make him one of the villains.
I would honestly, he is a player that I would trust to be like, like take him around the corner and be like, okay.
No, don't tell him. I get what you're saying. You trust him, but I wouldn't tell him. This would be like, the twists.
The entertainment, yeah.
Twist.
No, I would do it like right when, say, like there's the final battle and draw it out. Be like, I would take him around the corner, and be like, hey, you remember when you died?
Nope. By the way,
you're playing a villain now. You're on Strahd's side. There you go.
Do not tell him that, because it is very easy for someone to who is playing the secret villain, the conniving background villain, and this is something I looked up for my only evil character in the campaign I talked about earlier. You are going, if you know that you're the villain, you're going to do something evil.
Oh no!
And not everyone is good about being like, oh, I didn't mean for that to happen. Some people, they do one evil act, and either there's a response and they jump out at that moment because they just can't handle it anymore, or nobody sees it, so they start doing it more and more often, seeing what they can get away with.
No, I wouldn't tell them like right from the get-go. Like I said, it would be the absolute final battle. They're about to face Strahd. I'm saying roll initiative, and then I would drop it on.
Okay, that's what I would think is.
So
wait
that's
until
another option. If you want to bring them back, still make them have a quest for it from the habit, but make them earn it. Yeah. That or don't bring them at all.
Oh, and there's got one of the homebrew rules aspect of that said is like if you die or if you get crit hit too many times in a battle, or if you go down too many times, you get certain aspects. Like scars. You can lose. You can lose an eye, things like that. I was thinking, like, say he does come back, that he as a side effect of the entire thing, he has to roll randomly with some saving throws, not to try to drink someone's blood. He's not a full vampire type thing, but he has that residue left over. That touch of darkness type of thing.
All right.
Okay. I can see that, but I would still.
Yeah,
I'm partial against it.
If it was me, I'd just have him dead. I mean, it's the way Ravenloft works. But if you really got to bring him back, I'd say bring him back as a secret villain.
Cookie crumbles.
Yeah, there is also a time limit on this thing. If you guys want to, I don't know, is Vampire on here on this information thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a look at the bite.
I did already.
Yeah, and what the time limit thing is on that.
They just have to be buried 24 hours until the vampire is destroyed. Or the following night. It's basically they have to be buried in the ground, rises the following night. Did they run from the vampire, or do they still have his body?
They still have his body.
Then I would say he's dead.
Oh no! As in like the party has his body, not the.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. He's dead.
I would say he's dead.
They're not going to bury him. They have no way to resurrect him. He's dead.
He's dead, Jim.
He's a fucking corpse.
He's an unparent. Bereft of life.
Hey, Malcius is here.
And now we can do it. Yeah. I'm not considering what everyone said, but yeah, like I said, I have already a plan for someone dying because it's Ravenloft.
Fuck you.
Did you ever play Dark Sun 2nd Edition?
What is it?
Dark Sun 2nd Edition. Dark Sun.
No.
Why am I the one who played that awesome campaign setting?
Look, I've been waiting. I've heard about it. I've been waiting for it to come out. It just.
So I was telling them because he was talking about people dying in Ravenloft, and I said, well, Ravenloft's supposed to be a nasty place to be, but if you've ever played Dark Sun, the book says in the very intro part of the book, when you start a campaign, have every player make 3 characters because they're going to die.
Oh, I've heard of it. I've never played it myself. Though. Yes, it's like it's known to be a meat grinder.
Yep. And I was telling my very first session, the entire party died, and one person went through all 3 characters in the first session.
Wow.
All
it
right.
was a pre-made campaign.
Well, that sounds like a good place to cut off the
Podcast.